How to blend color pencils. These are 4 easy simple methods I like to use to blend my color pencils. The first one is layering, which is simply layering your colors on top of each other and does not require any extra supplies. The second one is a white color pencil, which means going on top of your colors using a white color pencil to blend it. The third one is a blending pencil or a blending tool. I know a lot of people don't own that, so you can just go ahead and use any of the other 3 methods. And the last one is tonal burnishing, which just requires the color pencils you already have. I have not included blending powder and a blending solvent in this video because I don't own them, but you can just search on YouTube on how to use those. The first method is layering, in which you just layer your colors on top of each other. So first start off with your shade and make it darker on the top and lighter on the bottom, so it's easier for it to blend with the other colors. Here I went with red on top, so as you can see it's much more pigmented on top and it gets lighter on the bottom. So at the bottom portion it's easier to blend orange with it. After my orange, again I made it lighter on the bottom and went in with my yellow. So in this method it does leave a lot of white spots, but you can again and again go in with more and more layers. It is time consuming, but it works out beautifully in the end. Here I have just zoomed in so you can see how it actually looks. So I will be judging all of these blending methods on 4 criteria. Pigmentation, which is pretty self-explanatory, how pigmented they are. Waxy coating, which means how waxy it is on the top and if you can go ahead with more and more layers. The third is smoothness, which is how smooth the blending is, and then the overall blending, how it is. For pigmentation, I'll give these a 6 on 10 because they're not very pigmented, but they're pretty pigmented. For waxy coating, this gets a 10 on 10, meaning there aren't any extra layers on top and it's not just very waxy. And then going on to smoothness. For smoothness, there are a lot of white spots, so it is a 6 on 10, but you can just go ahead with more and more layers and reduce the amount of white spots. So for smoothness, it gets a 6 on 10 in my opinion, and the overall blending is pretty good. The only catch is very time consuming, so it's an 8 on 10. So the next method I'm using is of a white color pencil. I'm using a Prismacolor Premier Color pencil. I will say this does not work out well with cheap brands white color pencils. They're not that good with blending, but as I did, you can buy a single expensive brand or a white color pencil instead of buying the whole entire set. Go in the same way as the last method, layering the colors on top of each other, starting with a little darker and getting lighter as we go down, and then on top of it we will go in with a white color pencil. Now lightly go in with your white color pencil on top. Don't apply a lot of pressure, it won't end well, and this is for all the methods, even for layering and everything. Just don't apply a lot of pressure. Go in lightly layer by layer. Now here's the more zoomed in and clear version. Now to judge this on the basis of criteria, pigmentation, to be very honest, I'll give it a 5 on 10 because the white takes over and the red looks very pink because the white takes over the colors. And now honestly, looking at this, I want to change the pigmentation of the layering method from 6 on 10 to an 8 on 10. For waxy coating, the waxy coating of a white color pencil is a lot, so going on top of more layers on it just gets difficult. So for waxy coating, for me this is a 7 on 10. Smoothness, I will be very honest, this is very smooth. This is the method I use most of the times. So for smoothness, this gets a 10 on 10 in my opinion. And for overall blending, this method is not that time consuming compared to the first one and it works pretty well. So I will give this a 9 on 10. Now coming to a third method, which is the blending pencil or blending tool. It works the same way as a white color pencil, but you're just using a blending pencil instead. So again, just layer your colors on top of each other and on top of it just go in with a blending pencil. Now I know a lot of you don't own a blending pencil. They can be a little expensive, so you can just use any of the other 3 methods. I'm using a blending pencil from Derwent, so the same way as the white color pencil, I'm just gonna go in with this on the top. Now this does not work out well with oil based color pencils. For those of you who own Faber-Castell polychromos or any other oil based color pencils, which I've seen on YouTube, but for wax based color pencils, this works wonders, as you can see in the video. Now it is very important that you don't apply a lot of pressure. Here the video is on 3x speed, so it looks like I'm applying a lot of pressure, but I'm actually not. It's just fast forward. For pigmentation, this definitely gets a 10 on 10. That pigment is really beautiful. For waxy coating, in my opinion, I will give this a 10 on 10 again because there is not much waxy coating. For smoothness as well, a 10 on 10. It's so smooth and bright and pigmented. And overall blending, of course, a 10 on 10. Just look at it, it's gorgeous. Now the last method is tonal burnishing. Tonal burnishing is basically that you go on top of your colors with a color that is in the same color scheme as the other colors but is lighter than them, so it is good for blending but does not affect the pigments of the other colors, instead helps the pigment. So for me, the color that I'm using to blend it all together is beige. Now that I have my base all set up, I will go on top of this with my beige. Again, make sure to not apply a lot of pressure, and here as you can see, since it's a lighter color than red and orange, it's not affecting their pigment. For yellow, I will be going with the lighter shade of yellow, which is sapphire yellow. The pigments are absolutely beautiful, so for pigmentation, this gets a 10 on 10. There is a slight waxy layer on top, so it gets an 8 on 10. It is very smooth, but not as smooth as a blending pencil, so a 9.5 on 10, and the overall blending gets a 10 on 10. This is the final color chart. It is very clear that the layering and white color pencil methods are not as pigmented. They're pretty smooth, but they're not as pigmented. But the blending pencil and tonal burnishing methods are really pigmented and just look really bright and gorgeous out there. For me, my favorite will definitely be the blending pencil and then the tonal burnishing. My least favorite method is layering because of how time consuming it is, but white pencil does tone down the colors a lot. Yeah, this was my first long video on this channel, so I hope you all liked it and thank you for watching.